to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Now, as the workplace continues to evolve, so does one of the platforms which is at the heart of it all, Zoom. Once synonymous with video calls, Zoom has now dropped videos from its name, signaling a bold shift in strategy. In an exclusive conversation, Aparna Bawa, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Zoom, breaks down the company's transformation into AI-first work platform. One that is not just keeping pace with the future of work, but also helping shape it. From agentic AI and custom companions to the launch of Zoom Phone in India market, she shares how Zoom is reimagining productivity, decision-making, and communication for enterprises worldwide, and why India plays such a pivotal role in that vision. Listen into this chat. Aparna, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad, I must say, that we are doing this in person and not over Zoom. But what brings you to India?
Well, you know, India is one of our strategically most important markets across the globe. And, you know, recently the IMF put out a report that listed out the economic prospects for some of the leading countries in the world. And India is going to be the fourth largest economy in 2025. And so it's obvious that, you know, our focus should match what is prevalent across the globe. And India is such an important part, not just because of its own economic growth, but it is sort of the jumping off point for most of Asia. And it is a breeding ground for multinationals who also want to have a presence in Asia with the attractiveness of the labor market, the technology adoption, and you know, even the geography.
Yeah. And I must say, you're coming at a time when, you know, it's 5 years since, you know, not just India, but the world embraced Zoom with open arms. Like, you know, it is 5 years to 2020 when, you know, we went into a lockdown, when the boundaries and the borders shut, and we were all working from our respective homes. So how do you see this overall evolution of Zoom, you know, in the past 5 years?
Look, you know, COVID was tough on everybody across the world. We felt such a privilege that we were able to provide an ability for people to connect, not only in the workspace, which is so important to keep economies alive and people's livelihoods going, but also for that human connection. So, you know, grandparents could connect with their grandkids. You know, you'd have funerals, weddings, all sorts of things on Zoom that I just didn't even anticipate walking into the situation in 2020.
Yeah.
And it's such a privilege and a gift for us all at Zoom. Every employee, I think, in that time period felt like it was their, you know, God's calling, if you will, to, you know, answer the call and make sure that humanity could survive during this very tough period. And as we evolve, you know, obviously the world knows our meeting product, and you know, they know us for meetings. We are evolving, and we have evolved into a platform with a variety of products, and underpinning it is AI. And so we just, you know, we would love to, our next phase is to make sure that the globe understands that we are a multifaceted company with the ability to seamlessly make life easy for our users.
Yeah, and speaking about next phase, it's only 6 months ago that you dropped videos from your name. So what does that signify in, you know, what does this shift signify in the larger evolution of Zoom going forward?
Yeah, you know, during COVID, I think it taught the world that you can turn on your video and it's going to be okay. And it's actually going to be wonderful. And that's how you can see emotion, you can see, you know, make connections, and you can develop long-lasting bonds, even if you're not able to see each other. And the reality is the workplace has shifted into something a little bit more complex. We don't necessarily want to lose some of the benefits of working remotely. You can skip the very long commute. It's raining cats and dogs here in Mumbai. Yeah, I'm sure people would love to get on Zoom and skip that commute in the rain. But at the same time, there are different projects or different work streams, different workflows that are just much better if you're in person. And we, as a platform, would like to, it's all about making human beings much more productive, much more efficient, so they can spend the time doing value-added, critical things that only human beings can do and take some of the, the rote tasks away with automation, with AI, and making human beings much more productive in their daily lives. And that is the Zoom 2.0, if you will. And we can see, a digital transformation across the board for all of our customers, even as we get into this hybrid work environment.
So Zoom 2.0 is all about automation and AI. When it comes to AI, because everyone's, focus is now on AI, how does Zoom differentiate as, an AI first platform as compared to someone else in the market?
Right. We have been doing AI for a long time. I mean, even if you think about it, the virtual background that, you see that you used in meetings, our meeting service, that has machine learning and AI embedded into it so that we know exactly where your head is located in the frame. And, we make it sort of look and seamless as if to the user, as if that's you. It's the actual background. And it's, that has been things like that, even like noise cancellation in the meetings platform. I had a dog during COVID, and you couldn't tell if the dog was barking or not, because you can adjust the noise cancellation to adjust for things that are going on inside of your home, or if high traffic area in the office. Those all things are fundamentally rooted in AI technology. But moving forward, we have done so much. As I said, we've launched a service called AI Companion, which underpins all of the various features on our platform. So that includes the meetings, Zoom Phone, contact center. We've launched email, calendar, scheduler. We've even done things like Zoom Tasks, where you can, use your interactions during the day to actually take notes and action items and make task lists for yourself by categories. Everything going towards making that human being, that knowledge worker, that much more productive and being able to spend time on things that really matter, whether it's creative flows or sort of just personal time, spending time on things that really matter.
Yeah. And what are some of the gaps, in the modern workflow that Zoom is addressing with some of its offerings? And what gaps continue that you intend to address going forward?
Well, let me just talk a little bit about our AI companion in meetings. We are able to, say you come to work, you're a couple minutes late. Sometimes I can come into a meeting a couple of minutes late. Instead of interrupting the group and saying, hey, catch me up, I'm so sorry, and then everybody has to stop and take 5 minutes to get you up, our meeting summary and AI companion features allow you to catch yourself up right away. You can literally put in catch me up. It will tell you what has happened. You can use it to take notes. You can use it to have action items. You can distribute the action items to the rest of the team. And that same technology then goes and underpins every other aspect of the platform, whether it's Zoom Phone. So imagine, how annoying it is to actually listen to voicemails now. We have no patience. If you can take that voicemail and you can actually not have to listen to it, but derive the most important parts from it, you can use our team chat and actually say, focus me on the most important team chats that are critical that I need to look at. And, in the future, it will actually be able to use your own, if you're working for a company, that company's internal data to actually decide for that company what's important for that person to look at. And it can be a very personalized experience. And to that end, we've even launched a custom AI companion studio that is tailored to the individual, leveraging their own company's information. It's not something that we keep and we train our models with, but it's definitely for the benefit of that own company. And we see this agentic, task-oriented, flow-oriented solution set really changing the lives of employees across the globe.
Speaking about Zoom phones launching in Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, what does this signify or say about the larger ambition of Zoom when it comes to in the telecom, like in the country?
Right. We definitely, we target both enterprises, SMBs, and the individual user, as you know. And the SMBs are so important from a economic generation capability, from across the globe. Small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeline for a lot of the economies. Enterprises obviously are large, notable. We see both having an interest in Zoom Phone. It is, traditional workplaces, they have a device, they have a phone set, they need to connect. It's not always going to be on sort of, the box meeting on your computer or on your tablet. And we want to be able to up level that and provide a seamless experience across the platform so that you're able to leverage some of the technology that is not available for a legacy phone throughout your experience, regardless of what format you want to be in.
And what are some of the specific, consumers or clients' behavior that you've seen specifically in the India market that inform some of your decision when it comes to tapping into India as a market?
Yeah, I can give you some examples. Lenskart, I believe, is an eyewear company. They are using Zoom so you walk into Lenskart. I need glasses, actually. I don't have them on today, but say I broke my glasses. I walk into a Lenskart. I can, maybe my power has shifted or my old prescription is wrong, and I can get on a Zoom link, and I can talk to an ophthalmologist that's located several hours away. I can quickly get my prescription filled. I can get my new glasses, and I'm out the door. That is convenience for me, especially for, I have low power, but I'm thinking about my son who does, is a little bit high, and then he probably would be lost without his glasses. And there have been times where he's broken them and we're like, oh no, what now? If you could walk in and get that done, that's so convenient. And we're so happy to be a part of that type of use case.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Shibani. I appreciate it very much.
Well, now it is time for a short break. On the other side, we're catching up with Srivatsan Jaishankar, Head of AR Partnerships at Snap Inc. Welcome back. From playful filters to powerful tools, Snap has long been at the forefront of augmented reality. In a candid conversation, Srivatsan Jaishankar, Head of AR Partnerships at Snap Inc., takes us inside the evolving world of spectacles, Snap's vision for immersive AR, and how creator-driven innovation is shaping the future of the platform.
As the lines between digital and physical continue to blur, few companies are as invested in shaping the future of augmented reality as Snap. From playful lenses to utility-focused innovations and the ambitious evolution of its AR wearable spectacles, Snap is redefining how the next generation connects with the world around them. We are catching up with Srivatsan Jaishankar, Head of AR Partnerships at Snap, to dive deep into Snap's evolving AR roadmap, the growing community of AR creators, and how the company is approaching India's uniquely diverse and mobile-first market. Srivatsan, welcome to CNBC-TV18.
Thank you, Shibani.
So before this conversation, we checked on the new spectacles, and I saw and I actually experience it firsthand. Tell us more about, what is the initial feedback you've gotten from the community, from the users who have tried spectacles?
Today, developers are able to actually see AR not only from a phone form factor, but also from a specs form factor. They're able to build it with the spectacles today. And we made it all super simple with one single platform. Right? You build it all on our platform called Lens Studio, which is the developer tool we have. And you can build on Lens Studio and deploy it across phone, spectacles, laptops, across all devices.
And what is being built by the developer community? If you can give us an insight into that. What is interesting? What are the use cases? What are the real life use cases that go beyond just, games and play?
I personally really love enjoying games. For me, games are a very solid use case. But to go a bit further, for example, there are some really unique experiences built where there's a team that built out CPR digitally, all right? So let's say that someone's actually having an emergency.
Yeah.
You can use the spectacles to actually perform CPR on them.
Wow.
Similarly, let's say a lot of education experiences where schools, colleges, when you want to learn about, let's say, the human body, there are experiences built by developers where it shows you the human body and you can actually dissect it like an actual MRI. You see different layers of what's possible and different levels are taught using the spectacles also with them.
Snap was really early on this AR bandwagon. Going forward, what will we see from Snap? What is being developed? What is the technology that we're going to see in this direction? If you can give us an understanding of your AR roadmap.
All right, so let me actually walk you through the journey of Snap AR also, right? So initially, Lens Studio was a platform that our teams had to build really cool lenses experience on the app for our users. But then later, we've opened the platform for a larger community to actually start working on, right? We put the tools in the hands of developers who built experiences. They understand the pulse of the audience really well, the users really well. They build really cool, fun experiences on the app and off app using Snap AR. But now what we have done in the last few years, especially, is the evolution of AI. With Gen AI, we've actually democratized creativity for the larger community. The entry barrier for someone to come and build AR experiences, the skill sets have brought down drastically right now, right? If you give me 2-3 hours of your time in the next few hours, I can teach you to actually make a lens, and you will publish a lens yourself in just a matter of 2-3 hours.
Wow.
With no prior dev experience, right? And then when we actually, and Snap over the last 10 years have also been very constantly evolving our specs devices also. We were the first ones to come out with specs, which were basically AI-enabled, camera-enabled glasses.
Yeah.
And then we've actually evolved it to the 5th generation today, where we're the only see-through AR glasses that's available in the market for developers to build on.
Yeah.
We have more than, I think, around several hundred experiences. It's already built for people to experience. There's more experience being built as we speak.
What are some of the brand collaborations that you have done in the past few probably months, and like how are you developing with the brands?
See, there's several lenses that you can see that are made by brands to engage with their larger audience, right? To maybe quote some of my favorite examples, one is definitely there was this the Make My Trip.
Yeah.
They have a very popular ad with Ranveer and Alia dancing in different parts of the world.
Yes.
So they made a really cool experience where you actually can see Ranveer and Alia dancing on a screen, but you're also dancing with them in the AR experience.
Yeah.
Similarly, so you have very fun, snappy experiences that connect with Gen Z audience. And then there was this other Britannia ad where you have to pronounce croissant. Like many people do not know how to pronounce croissant, right? So the lens teaches you how to pronounce croissant.
I hope it doesn't turn out to be Prashant.
It's mostly a Prashant, yes, yeah.
Awesome. And as AR and this entire field continues to shift the way in which we communicate, how are brand expectations also evolving?
AR is the one where it's super interactive. The user is in the ad, is involved in the ad. There's a lot more attention given to the user and also the campaign, right? Let's say for one example, Lakme. I'm sure like women, mostly in my life, they love go to actually the store directly because they want to try out a shade and pick a shade, right? Let it be a lipstick or a foundation. See, I've learned so much through building these experiences myself. But Lakme has right now released a lens where you can try multiple shades in color, and they're super realistic. You can exactly how you see yourself in the shop in front of a mirror, the lens actually brings that to you. So without much logistics, you get to experience. Brands are right now able to take the products to where people are.
So what are some of the pillars of, the AR partnerships that you're doing with brands right now? And how do you foresee it changing going forward?
Music, movies, commerce, there's definitely a crazy uptick that we're seeing in terms of growth about AR usage across the stakeholders. What we're doing is we're handholding many of our brands to actually connect with our partners to build experiences that actually resonates with their audience more. We've also been working to actually, like I said, we've also been working at a very simple way of actually connecting brands to our developers to create more experiences that can work for a country like India, right? Very culturally nuanced. And AR is, I wouldn't say it's actually a tech that, oh, it's very far-fetched, we don't know what it looks like. I think AR is here. With the spectacles here, the amount of India today has the second largest number of developers for us at Snap building AR experiences. So when we are at that scale, I think the evolution of the tech is becoming way more natural, the understanding has become way more easier, and the adoption is already here.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Shibani.
And finally, before we go, we're taking you again to our remarkable night, the Storyboard 18 Marquee Nights, where we caught up with a few CXOs on ground and spoke to them about the current trends shaping the marketing and the advertising landscape. Listen in.
Little bit of lift and shift from the past really helps. But the fact that you are innovating, you're looking at being very consumer centric, innovation is part of your DNA, and I can talk about what we do at PepsiCo India. I love what marketeers do, the kind of work they produce. Of course, some of them are targeted toward awards, but largely towards consumers and keeping in mind the new trends, especially AI. So I think they are the innovators. Digital marketing to me is all about how you can be more authentic, how you can tell better stories in a very, very simple way, but very authentic way.
The gut, the instinct, the people, and the emotion uh, has to balance and match with the data and analytics. Either alone will not work. Some of the best storytelling campaigns or marketing case studies that have been around have been very gut driven, and later on they use a lot of data to prove that that thesis was right or wrong. The consumers, the industry is very smart. They are way ahead of any one single copycat idea. So the most important thing is to be honest, again, genuine, and come from a place of honest storytelling. If that's the case, consumers will mostly love it.
India is becoming a bigger powerhouse in terms of production, and therefore near-shoring, things like near-shoring, sourcing goods closer to your where you trade the business, where the consumers are is really shaping how we conduct this industry. China was the powerhouse, the manufacturing powerhouse of the world. In our industry, now that's completely getting reshaped. Yeah, very interesting. So wonderful chat. Love the way Yannick talks about India, and love the accent, of course. I guess my biggest insight tonight has been, it's a validation of how Yannick also looks at India, the powerhouse that India is in terms of not only the amount of people we have, the amount of consumers we bring together, the talent that we bring to the world. Therefore, it's less an insight, more a validation of the power of India for the future.
I think it's a bit of both. However, I still feel new ideas are coming across, and because new ideas are coming, we are seeing them not just in packaging, but also in communication across digital, mainline, so on and so forth. So I certainly believe marketeers today have a much more challenging assignment in front of them, and they're doing a good job there. I think it totally depends on what is the requirement. If the requirement is all about speed, and sometimes that's of most essence, then certainly speed is essential. But I don't think speed ever comes at the cost of good creativity.
Marketeers need to always innovate, because marketing as a profession involves creative thinking. So I believe that because differentiation is becoming very critical. So if marketeers don't innovate and they don't bring new thoughts and new campaigns, then you are not able to bring the best out of the products and the services and the entire gamut of differentiation you're trying to create. So in my opinion, marketing cannot survive without innovation. Not really. In fact, what digital marketing has done, it has made marketing more ROI obsessed and focused, because earlier we used to do campaigns and there used to be that little bit of doubt in terms of whether the campaign is giving that real impact on business and brand. Digital marketing is helping marketeers like me to be on our toes all the time, to really see the investments we are making in marketing are giving the right returns.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.